As you know, this is a fairly typical constructive-destructive interference problem. We have two speakers that are 20 meters apart. We know that they have constructive interference in the middle because the wavelengths are going to be the same, so they'll be in the same phase, constructive. We know that it's also destructive if we go 0.5 meters to the side of that middle. Okay? We want to find the frequency for which this is true, or at least one of the frequencies. You would get all the harmonics of those frequencies would also work. But we're looking for the base frequency for which that is true. Okay? So, what do we know about constructive and destructive interference? Okay? Constructive when we are off by n wavelengths. Okay? Destructive when we're off by where n is odd. Okay, so we want like 1/2, 3/2, 4/2, or 5/2, 7/2, anything that's got a half in it. Okay, so we're looking at the lowest one, which is off by a half wavelength. Okay, so what that means is that the distance the wave from each of the speakers traveled has to be off by a half. So, for that to work, we know that you want L1, the length of the signal of the sound for one of the speakers minus length of the sound for the second speaker is off by half a wavelength. Okay, so we have, if we're off by 0.5 meters to the side, one of them is going to be longer. Okay. One of them is going to be shorter. That's equal to 1/2 lambda again. And again, one of them, so as we shift, so if we're right here, and this is 10, and this is 10, if we shift over to here, we're further from one and shorter from the other, so we get those two lengths. This should come out to be 1 is equal to 1/2 lambda, or lambda is equal to 2. Now that we have that, we can then say, okay, lambda is equal to 2, we know that velocity of sound is equal to 343. Lambda is equal to 2. You know that F is equal to V over lambda, and we get 343 over 2, and that's 171.5 hertz. And that is the frequency needed, or the lowest frequency needed to create that sort of pattern. Okay, again, we could do it with any sort of harmonic of that, 343, add it again, and again.